It's Monday and time for the Back to Business podcast, featuring Calgary's industry leaders. Welcome today's show host, Kim Hayden.
Some of my most favorable memories is from my road trips with my kids. And here to help drive the conversation today, pun completely intended, is Temi Okesanya. I love that name. With Road Aiders. And you know what? Let's get this show on the road. But first, our land acknowledgement.
In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge that we live, work, and play on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Siksika, Ga'aina, Piikani, the Tsuut'ina, the E'ahe Nakota Nations, the Métis Nation Region 3, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta.
All right, welcome to the show. Temi, how are you today?
Pretty good. And yourself, Kim?
I am doing better now that you're here.
Well, thank you very much.
We met at a Young Professionals Evening, Rising Stars, here at the Calgary Petroleum Club. Yeah. And you were like, when I asked, does anybody know what a CTA is? You're like, yeah. It's like, okay, here's an entrepreneur. Here's somebody that I know that knows the language of which I am speaking. Before we dive into Road Aid and all of your, entrepreneur endeavors, everything that you're building, I would love for you to share a little bit of who you are and also tell us a bit about your journey from academia, a master's, and moving into entrepreneurship, because that's a big jump.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So my name is Temi Okesanya. My background is actually in petroleum engineering. I have my master's in petroleum engineering from the University of Alberta. Before I was done with my master's degree, I had 2 job offers already, one from ExxonMobil and another one from a company here in Calgary. I picked Calgary because it was a shorter drive time from Edmonton. And I've gone through different positions and professional positions in the industry, from like product engineering, product manager to like even technical sales, technical marketing. And that helped me build my network because I was able to meet different stakeholders in the industry. And that really helped my professional journey. And if there's one thing I want to tell young professionals, is just build your network. Always build your network. It's very key. Like, my network has been key to me even pivoting into this. So being in oil and gas as an engineer, we had a technical project once. We're going to launch something digital into the market. And there was no one else to take the job apart from me. And they asked me, would you want to become a product manager? I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I think I can do it. So I was there just interfacing between the product, the technical coding team, and the customers. I was able to translate customers' requirements into product features. And I really enjoyed that job. And funny enough, during that same season, when I was enjoying my first time in the technical project as a product manager, winter 2021, I had a minor accident on Deerfoot. Minor accident, nothing too crazy. I needed to tow my vehicle from the accident scene to an auto repair shop. And that day, I experienced firsthand the inefficiencies of the industry. Because once EMA's wait time was 120 hours, so that was a no. Then I realized everything was manual. You're either going on Kijiji or you're going on Google, trying to figure out, where's the nearest tow truck around? And you're talking to random service providers. This leads to long wait times in the winter, which I experienced firsthand. You have no idea where this person is. They can tell you, I'm downtown, but they're actually in Airdrie. You have nowhere to track their location because you're talking to them on the phone.
Oh.
And like, the pricing is ridiculous, especially when they know you're out there stranded. They charge you whatever. They can tell you $200, $300, $400 because they know you're desperate.
Yeah.
And there is no QA, QC. Like, there's no quality control, no quality assurance, nothing. It's like, you're just talking to this random person on the side of the road. You don't know if there's a criminal. You don't know. Like, how are you sure this person can even...
It's like Starlink. I ran out of gas once in Wyoming, of all places.
Exactly.
Yes. And I had... This is so bad. If anybody's ever seen Hills Have Eyes, and it's an old one.
Yes, I am.
Yeah?
Oh,
Okay.
yes,
It was like the Hills Have Eyes. They sent the pickup truck with 3 guys in the back in overalls, one set of teeth between the 3 of them, jerry can of gas. So I get it. I get it. There's no rhyme or reason.
Exactly. And I was just there like, how do I even know this person is even qualified? Like, there's no QA, there's no QC. I wouldn't want a random person towing my Ferrari. I mean, I don't have a Ferrari yet, but you get the point.
Yeah.
So there, while waiting for help, I'm like, why not create a digital platform that solves all these problems, that connects customers needing roadside assistance to the nearest available service provider using GPS technology? I'm like, that, because the industry is ripe for disruption. Everything is so old. There's still calls, there's still faxing machines.
Everything is old. Everything. We've got to rethink our, yes. I 100. Do you think that getting the opportunity at a petroleum company to do the business development that put you more in a driver's seat in almost that sales space, do you believe that was like the catalyst or the bridge for you to go from the academic here's my master's, A, B, C, D, everything locks this way, to, what was your biggest eye-opening experience moving from a controlled environment to a very fluid environment?
That was a very good point. So I think this has to do with my first boss. He hired me from when I was still in the uni, still in Edmonton. He saw me once and was like, yes, you have something, come work for me in Calgary. So his role was, he was product, like he was helping us develop some of these product chemicals, like just drilling chemicals. He was also in marketing and he was in sales. So he started me up in the lab. I was in the lab helping like product development and everything. And sometimes when he goes on sales meetings, it takes me out longer. He shows me some things. And he was one day he saw me networking once and he was like, Tim, I think you might be a good sales guy. and this is just me in the full academia. And I'm like, oh, but the lab, I was like, the lab works, but I think you have a special skill here. You can connect with people. And that's the first thing about sales. For you to sell something to anybody, they have to trust you first. You have to have that good connection. You have to prove to them you're not a robot and you understand their pain points. And he was like, you know what? I would switch you a bit into technical marketing first. And from there, I started going on with following him to some of the meetings, and I could see the bigger picture. Every successful entrepreneur is a salesman. If you know how to sell, you will be good in business. And learning from him and being in the oil and gas industry, seeing how sales work, seeing how people close accounts, I was like, wow, these skills are transferable into other things. I didn't know then, this was before my accident. Then I had the accident, I was like, oh, okay, this is the moment I've been waiting for. I have an idea, I think I can build this. Everything just aligned. Like me meeting my former boss, me being a product manager then, and having that accident.
And having that mentorship. It sounds as if he was really a mentor. And we had Alicia, I think it was Alicia Quisnell on, and she was talking about, she's from BD&P, and she was talking about the difference between mentorship and training. Mentorship and sponsorship is where I think a lot of younger people really need that support because, you know, sometimes we have to have a little bit of strength over here to kind of shore up and say, I can do this.
Exactly, and I agree with that. There's this African proverb that's very common in West Africa where I'm from. It said, the child that sits on the shoulders of an elder can see further than someone without no support of an elder.
Oh, that's good.
They can see further, they can see better with the support of an elder, sitting on the shoulder of an elder than someone that's just on his own without that support. And it makes perfect sense. When you associate yourself with people that have done the same thing, they've gone ahead in the journey, they've seen paths, they've seen mistakes, they can show you that. They can show you the quickest way. There's one of my mentors that keeps saying something to me. It's like, I've made so many mistakes in my life, in my business. I've exited so many businesses, but I've made so many mistakes. The only reason I'm here with you, Temi, is to make sure you don't make the same mistakes I did. And that is key.
And we have a huge transition in the world right now where a lot of jobs are being displaced because of proficiency through automation and AI. So a lot of people who never saw themselves in the sales space or the service space will be in the sales and service space because those are still human driven.
Exactly.
So let's go down Road 8. So you got stranded. Your car's there. It's an hour and a half for AMA to come. And
More than an hour.
More than an hour. And it's like, come on, folks. Come on. When I can get DoorDash to drop a burrito in 20 minutes, you can't come get my car? Yeah. Okay. No, I can see this. I can see this logic and reasoning. So in starting this company, what were some of the very first steps you took? Because they say a lot of times when you're doing technology development, which is what Road 8 is, it's a technology platform that a lot of people, like, you almost have to sell it before you've built it.
Exactly. And that's one thing a lot of these young entrepreneurs don't know.
They're afraid.
They're afraid. And the thing is, you can risk any of your projects if you understand or you properly plan your strategy. I'm the kind of person that I always try to build before I sell. If you see me building something, I would have validated that product.
Yeah.
And initially, this was my first entrepreneurial project, and it was the first thing I built. There were a lot of mistakes I made myself personally.
Well, we have to make mistakes. And I'm going to back up as somebody who I have not received a paycheck from another person, from like a company, since 1996.
Okay.
I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, pretty much. I mean, from selling Girl Scout cookies. Things really aren't mistakes if you learn from them.
Exactly. And you know, one thing, going back, people ask me, like, what have you learned so far? It's the same thing as experience is the best teacher. If you're not just going to it, you will learn, like, especially if you're dedicated and you're trying to solve an actual problem for your customers, you will learn from them. Like, initially, I didn't think about I just saw, okay, there's a problem. I was passionate about it. I've experienced it firsthand, there's a problem. But me right now in that situation, I'll go a step back, find my customers, talk to them, to carry out plan strategy, financial modeling, making sure what business model to go to, the best go-to-market strategy. I didn't have any of that then. I was just naive. I was like, okay, there's a problem. Let's go solve it. Okay, I was like, first, let's test it out. So first thing I did was build like a demo website to see like how many people actually need roadside assistance. So we just launched it on Google and we're measuring clicks and people coming in and people putting in, calling a fake number that does not exist. So we're just getting all that data just to validate. So, okay, at the end of that month, we were able to validate that people needed this. If I was to go back in time, what I would change is I would literally have a conversation with those people to understand their pain points, understand where they're coming from and why they're looking for this service. But I did not. I was just checking for the data. Okay, people require this service. Let's go into it.
Yeah.
My initial business model too was wrong. Not wrong per se, but at the volume I was, it wasn't sustainable because initially what we did was we got a commission for connecting customers to service providers. So like a 15-20% commission. So if you use the platform, I charge you 20%. But the problem is 20% is not sustainable long term, especially for a small scale. That can pay your bills and everything. Yeah. But as a first-time founder, just naive, I was like, yeah, let's do it. So these are a couple of mistakes that if I could go back, just plan everything properly before you delve in. Like, make sure you understand the product before you build. Make sure you understand your customers' pain points before you build. And always always plan first. Or always sell first before building.
Sell first. And that's the big thing, is give yourself some runway. Is Road 8, or is that like a round robin? Do you, like, when you go into the platform, you say, I need a tow? Does it pings out and it finds who's the closest and then it sends a message? Does it then send a second message if that person doesn't pick up?
So the next service provider and all of that.
Yeah, so it has a round robin system, which is brilliant, because if realtors can do this, I mean, we've been doing it. Realtors have been doing it for 20 years. You're on Facebook at 3 a.m. and you say, yeah, I'm interested. There is like 10 of them. Hello? Are you looking to spiders?
I said the easiest one we can do is like Uber for tow trucks.
Yeah.
And we've realized something right now that model is applicable to so many different things.
Yep.
Like, okay, I'm not going to mention it, but we're working on a new product right now for EV owners, electric vehicle owners.
Yeah.
And because one thing about myself, we want to be on the forefront of innovation. So now, if people could order skip the dishes, people could order different things at different time, why can't I just order with 2 clicks, order a mobile EV charger to come charge my car while I'm waiting in a barcade, or if I have no access to EV charging solutions.
Interesting.
So we're launching that product soon, and you guys are the first to know about it.
Oh, we're on the inside, Jackson. We're on the inside. Okay.
And as usual, we're planning this properly because it's a new vertical. We're talking to customers. In fact, we got like the first verbal, in fact, 2 verbals already, 2 LOI signed from companies for this product. Major service providers. We have companies like Mercedes reached out to us, and they want this for their customers.
Yeah, because that's the number one complaint unilaterally.
Exactly. Range anxiety.
Is the recharge.
What if my car stops in the middle of nowhere?
And universal, like there's not a universal. They're starting to come out with universal charging units.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's been a challenge.
I know. So we're working on, like, I've never been so excited about a product. So it's going to be coming probably Q3 or Q4, where apart from you just being able to order a mobile charger to come to you anytime, anywhere, not just for in case of emergencies, there are some people in condos that don't know how fast charging. So we bring this charge directly to EV owners. We want to be on the forefront of innovation because, like, look at the numbers of this EV industry. 2017, there were only about 5,300 cars sold Q1 2017 across Canada. 2024, 56,000 EV vehicles have been sold Q1 2024. And that's almost 10x. And a lot of people are ignoring the market. It's going to die, ignoring the EV space. But we're seeing a unique opportunity here for us.
Well, I know that like Finland, Norway, I mean, their numbers are on track to be basically 100%.
I know.
EV or alternative energies.
Yeah.
Right? So hydrogen, they're exploring hydrogen. Yes. But there's the reality is vehicles mobile.
Yes.
And if you have an issue, it needs to come to you.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And that's the space. So we're getting this space where, like, we get into this space where we want EV owners to be able to just order, I'm downtown, there's no charging spot around. Can you just come? And you just leave, either you can leave your charging spot open and we'll just come and just give you your boost and you go. You come back and your car is already full. Yep. You live in a condo building that has no fast charging and you need a fast charge. 2 clicks, someone comes to you to charge your vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah. We're actually talking about Car2Go. Do you remember, were you here in Calgary? Oh, I think Car2Go was maybe even like 10, 15 years old. Ago. It was before Uber.
Okay, no.
It was a product. And I actually thought it was really smart. But the problem was people would take these cars and they like drive them up north of Airdrie and there was nobody to bring the car back. So, it's like the shopping cart. Yeah. Car2Go was basically the shopping cart of cars. Yeah, and, how, Superstore, your shopping cart can be found over at the Walmart. Well, they just didn't want to do all those types of things. So Car2Go went. But I think that with the autonomous vehicles coming, we're going to see more rideshare options and opportunities. And, but at the end of the day, what it all says is we're not getting rid of our cars.
At all.
And maybe in Europe you can do this where there's trains and there's really good public transit. But in North America?
Nope.
No. I mean, it's easier for me to drive from here to Wichita, Kansas than to get a plane. Because I've got to take 2 or 3 stops to get to Wichita. I'd rather drive. So, I totally get that. What makes, how easy is Roadator and how can people find it? Like, this is the first I've heard of this.
Exactly.
So, how do I find out more? And is it open to anybody, or do you have to be part of a membership, or what is the kind of where it's sitting right now within its evolution?
Nice. To answer this question, I'll just go to the evolution of our business model. So initially, we were doing the 20-30% commission on every transaction. We realized it wasn't sustainable because the first thing is wrong with that business model is the industry we're in is cyclical.
Yeah.
So in the winter, you get a lot of people calling you, you make all your 20%, then in the summer, no one cares. Because there's less accidents, less use cases. And now you've incurred all of these assets and everything, and you have staff, and in the summer, there's no cash flow coming in. So the easiest way we could do that was create a membership option where you pay about $120, you get the fastest roadside assistance services, you get multiple calls in a year, and the thing we've added is our members get exclusive savings and discounts in over 250,000 plus locations in North America. Flights, hotels, restaurants. In fact, we have 2 major partnerships coming up, and it's taking all the self-control not to even mention this because I'm so excited about this for our members. So we see ourselves more as an intersection of where savings meets safety. So right now, based on that business model of the subscription, individual customers can go on our website and just purchase a plan and just be protected and they can get activated the same day.
You said like 120 a year.
Yes,
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. And you get 100 kilometers towing distance. No one gives you that amount of distance for like $120. But now, the thing that makes us different as to why a lot of people would not know about us is we don't actually do the B2C marketing. We don't direct. So
business to customer you're not doing. So you're doing a B2B.
We're doing more of a B2B model. So that people on the street will not know us.
Yeah.
So what we figured out is that we cannot go head to head against AMA. They have over 70% of the market.
Yeah.
We cannot.
They have a nice magazine too.
Exactly.
Everywhere I'm never going. Yeah. So. Sorry, that was my outside voice. So I think I'm a little bitter today. I think maybe I took a bit I don't know. Like I'm having one of those
no one
days.
is using any of these things. So I keep telling me about it. So we literally cannot compete with them on the marketing spend. So we have to look. So we have to change our strategy. What exactly is our strength? What can we do? What can we do? What can we change? And we figured it out. 3 things, basically. Well, first, we sell this as an employee benefit package. We go to HR companies. We have this cool thing. You have employees that drive. Like transitioning from COVID, where you have to mandate your employees to drive to work. Make this, get this for all of your staff.
Yep.
Employee satisfaction is going to go high. They know their family is protected wherever they are. They have the fastest roadside assistance service.
Yeah, don't be late to work again. There's no excuse.
There's no excuse. HR managers like that because it's a unique differentiation for them because everyone has health and dental. You're not special. How you can differentiate yourself is by offering unique value benefits. Yeah. That way you can retain your best performance because they know they're not getting this elsewhere. Their wife is not getting protected when they're driving. Their husbands are not getting, their family is not getting protected while driving. And also attract top performance into your company.
Yeah.
Because it's like attracting top talent, you have to show them why they should pick you over other companies. So really that gives them that unique differentiation when it comes to benefit packages. So we've been selling this, and luckily for me, majority of all the oil and gas guys, they have fleet companies. And I've been in the industry. So meaning I can, based on my background and the people in my network, I can go find, who's your fleet manager? Let's tell them about this. Who's your HR manager? Let me tell them about this service. And that really helped me. So we sell.
Smart.
So instead of trying to convince 1,000 people to buy your plan, why not just convince the HR manager and get it for the 1,000 people? Cost of acquisition drops so low and you get massive volume in.
Yes.
So our entire thing right now
you also have that power of association.
Exactly.
So when we align and collaborate or network, we get that power of association when they say, oh, my company says, so yes, I will, right? I've got this. Or, by the way, did you know it's that name recognition?
Exactly. And reduce our cost, we just get massive. So a lot of our efforts is just into sales, not more B2C, just sales to get into these HR conferences, HR space, and just get this for your employees. We have the data to show it actually improves employee satisfaction. They know wherever they are, their family is covered. Wherever they're traveling, everything is covered. And second thing we try to do is we talk to OEMs or dealerships, include our plan with every car you sell.
Smart.
So we're actually working on a deal with this OEM in the United States right now, and it's going on well. With every unit you sell, just include the road data plan there. Your customers are going to be happy. It's going to help you improve sales because they know that they are protected on the road.
They got Roadside. It's like the Starlink that they used to do through Cadillac.
Cadillac on OnStar and all of that.
Yeah. I don't know if they have that anymore. Do
I
they
think
still
it's
do
called
that?
OnStar, right? I think it's called OnStar, and some companies have dropped it, depending, but it still exists in some certain areas.
Some place. Yeah, in Wyoming. I'm glad because Wyoming needs more people. Just saying. And by the way, a Cadillac station wagon, I used to have the station wagon, and tank does not go the same distance between Butte, Montana, or not Butte. I was in Billings, Montana, and Cheyenne, Wyoming, next to the Suburban. Because at one point in time, I had and I said, I'm going to take the station wagon instead of the Suburban.
Yeah.
And literally 10 miles outside of Cheyenne. And I have 3 kids in the car. Temi, I've had some interesting road experiences. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, when you get on a boat,
I'm your worst client because it's like, that woman's calling for a tow again.
Again? Yeah. Like,
I think what I'm really liking that I'm hearing consistently from you, and if you don't mind me asking, how old are you, Temi?
Okay, if you were to guess, what would you pick a number?
I would say probably 31.
No, I mean, still in my 20s.
You're still in your 20s.
Yeah.
Wow. That, and this is impressive. But I think what I'm really hearing from you is you are paying attention to pain points, and you're willing to pivot.
Exactly. And still on the forefront of innovation. Like look at it long term. And that's why I keep on, look at it long term. Where is everyone going to in the next 10, not even 5 years, 10, 15 years? And how can we capitalize on the opportunity? Yep. People are asking us, why are you playing this EV space? It's not relevant yet. It is not. They're still small. It's not coming. I'm like, look at the data. Look at the future.
it's transferable.
Exactly.
It's transferable. You get that technology down. There's more and more things. I mean, the reality is we're having rolling blackouts in California, and they're having to go and use petroleum generators to fuel their EV cars.
It's the irony. The irony. And I was telling someone, like, you cannot just get rid of the oil and gas industry. It doesn't work that way. You need your support for a lot of things.
Yeah. I think it's going to take all solutions for us to push through.
Exactly.
Like we've got
combine.
Right now the world is going through such transition that it's going to take all of us working collaboratively together.
All the energy sectors.
Everything has to come together. There is no single solution to anything that's going on in this world.
And the one thing we've learned so far with our solution, I'll come later on in the year, it's going to be semi-off-grid because we don't want to put pressure on the grid.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk so much about the technology, but it's like semi-off-grid. We temporarily store energy, so in cases where the grid needs help, we can also put back into the grid. We had a good meeting with NMAX last week.
We should have reverse feed on every house, everything.
Thank you. So
Calgary's done a great job. Like our city buildings are all coming from alternative energy, right? Doing such a great job, but when the sun's not shining and the wind's not blowing, we still need to keep our buildings hot because, I'm sorry, -40, folks. You know what? Yes, I'm at an age and stage where I am far better clothed than semi-naked. Trust me on this. But I don't want to be living in a thermal -40 because we can't heat our buildings because we've gone extreme one way. So we having that. I'd like to actually wrap this out with, we have a really interesting conundrum. Let's use the word conundrum going on, a generational thing.
Yep.
Okay. Where the boomers and the Gen X, which I'm a Gen X, then we have the millennials. We have all these generations that have been, go to university, go to university, go to university, go to university. So we have this all the way down. And now our Gen Zs. So our Gen Z, you're Gen Z, correct? So that Gen Z and the younger millennials are the very first generation that I'm starting to hear, do I want $100,000 in debt? Is getting this paralegal certificate. Yes. So knowing that a lot of people that maybe will have gone into a traditional academia or have been in a traditional academia controlled environment through corporate space are going to get cast into the wild west of entrepreneurial space. Yeah. What are some of the things that you would recommend to people? And it could be somebody in their 40s.
Yeah.
It could be somebody in their 20s. What's something that you would recommend moving from that traditional corporate space into that innovator and entrepreneurial space? The risk, how do you tolerate the risk?
Now, that's a very good question. And like, I'm going to even tell you a personal story. So like, I'm an African immigrant, and back home, you only have 3 options. You're either a doctor, an engineer, or like a lawyer, something like just professional courses. Like your parents don't even want to hear about any other thing. It's like, go to school, get a good job, stay there till you graduate.
Your parents were boomers or Gen Xers, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And they just believe that so much.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was telling my parents about this, the idea initially, they're like, you have a master's in petroleum engineering and you want to stop all of that to go work on tow trucks. I'm like, if you put it that way, I'm like, no, exactly. He's like, are you sure about this? Think about it more. Like, don't quit your job yet. Think about it more. But now, people are starting to see there's a paradigm shift and perspectives right now, and people are trying to see that, beginning to see that the debt might not actually be worth it long term. Especially if you've not had time to think about what exactly do I want to do. And I feel that's the major problem with youths going into school, getting all of this debt. Because after a while, you ask them, why did you pick that course? Like, and you're not even using it right now. You're doing something entirely different. I don't know. My parents forced me to it, or society forced me to it. I feel like having the college degree would have opened doors, but right now I'm just in debt. And now, there is no like cookie cutter solution. Like, it's not like one fits for everyone. It's like, it's different for everybody. But the one thing I keep telling young people, make sure you get that professional experience first to decide what you want to do before going to pursuing any like college or academic degree. Because once you have real life experience working, networking, and talking to different people, that choice will be better for you. You know why you're getting the debt. You know why you want to study this course. You've seen the solution. You know your why. Because that's the thing, why? Like, just sit down and ask yourself, okay, why am I taking 60,000 or 70,000 grand worth of debt? Some students don't understand that. They've not had that self-reflection. So what I advise people is before you do anything, make sure you get that first professional experience. You can work as an intern, you can talk to different people, get mentors. Then after that, you can discover, okay, I think if I go to college for my MBA, I can do this. If I get my degree in this, I can actually fulfill this, and that's my purpose. It aligns with everything I've been working on. Do not let anyone rush you into getting the debt.
Yeah. Well, and also take a look at all the other opportunities out there.
Exactly.
In another 10 years, it's going to be more expensive to get a plumber to your house than a lawyer.
I know. Like, people don't understand.
We're not joking here, folks. We're not joking.
There's some things AI cannot do for you.
Yeah. Think about all the things that AI cannot do.
You know,
right?
I was having this
right now,
yeah.
especially in Canada, because autonomous vehicles are not really in our future as of yet because of road conditions and weather conditions.
Yeah.
Which means you still need a human being to show up with that tow truck.
Exactly.
So if you want to be a tow truck driver for 3-4 years before engaging in the post-secondary education,
exactly.
do it. It's okay. So because I think you need to understand a little bit of that. I think you need to get fired a few times before you really have risk tolerance. So folks, corporate or entrepreneurial, both spaces are changing.
Yes.
They're
Totally
both
agreed.
changing.
Totally agreed. Someone was like, the more advanced your degree is, the higher the likelihood of you being replaced by AI. And that's scary though. It's like the more technical and all that.
Yeah, unless you can be like a neurosurgeon. I think that hopefully still going to be a human being for a while.
I know.
Yeah, I'd like to take the human, please. Yeah,
exactly. I prefer the human.
Yeah, I prefer the human.
Oh, we just want to test this with you. Oh, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'll take the second one. I'm not an early adopter to that point.
Yeah, I want to be first to be second. Not first. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Temi, I can't thank you enough sharing everything, because it's so refreshing to see somebody that is really taking a blend of that corporate experience and the entrepreneurial experience and bringing it all together and understanding where new technologies are driving us.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, the pleasure is all mine. I really enjoyed our conversation. And maybe when we launch our EV products, we can come back and just have a recap.
Absolutely. And I promise, folks, we're going to have all of Temi's information on how to get Road Aider. Maybe if you're looking for a job, find out who is actually working with them so you can get that extra layer of protection when you're choosing your employer, because we know that good talent is in the driver's seat right now.
And also for listeners, we have a special gift for you and a code. If you go on our website and you want to get the Road Aider plan, insert the code ROAD20, ROAD and 20 to get 20% discount on our plan, which brings your overall payment to less than 100 and you get covered. I didn't plan this, Kim didn't ask for it, but it's a gift to all the listeners of this podcast.
That's awesome. We'll have that information in the show notes. Thank you, Temi.
All right, then. All right.
Thank you for joining us today on the Back to Business podcast. Be sure to visit calpeteclub.com, CALPETECLUB.com, to find out more about upcoming events, networking opportunities, and membership. If you are not already a valued member at the CPC, where we are proudly connecting and supporting Calgary's business leaders.